Yeah, thanks for that question. So can you please make me presenter?
Okay, sir. Okay. Sir, Utkarsh sir, now you are host, so you can take charge of this system.
No, I'm not able to share it.
Okay.
No, it is still disabled.
I think, sir, Dr. Atish Mane is the host now. That's why Dr. Utkarsh is not able to share his screen.
Okay, I will check. Hello, Utkarsh sir. Now you can check. Now you are host. Before we start, on behalf of Swedish College of Engineering Pundarpur and Department of Mechanical Engineering, I would like to welcome you all for this day 2 session 2. And for this session, for as a keynote speaker with us, Dr. Utkarsh. So I request Utkarsh sir to take a charge of session and proceed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the introduction. So in this session, we are particularly going to focus on how to build apps in COMSOL. So I hope all of you have COMSOL installed in your machines because we are going to do hands-on today. So I will build an app and you all will follow me. So I hope all of you have COMSOL installed and you have your laptops or machines in front of you. Okay, so this is the brief agenda for today. First of all, as my colleague Rahul has also explained you in the morning session about the app, so I will not go into detail about the introduction, but I will quickly just go through two, 3 slides to just again recall you about what Rahul has already explained, that what is app and what it does. And after that, we are going to do a hands-on and we are going to see different types of objects that are available in App Builder to build a structured app like form objects, editor tools, form collections, method editors. And at the end, we are going to discuss about deploying apps. So we have 2 different tools to deploy apps. One is COMSOL compiler and one is COMSOL server. So each one has a different use that we will discuss in detail later. So moving on, so COMSOL apps basically are used to reduce your full comprehensive, full-fledged model into a reduced app. So this app, just like it is shown on your screen, is just like your simple mobile phone app. It just have a few inputs. It will just have a few buttons and an output window. So anyone who is not having any modeling or simulation experience can also use an app. It's very intuitive, as it is shown on your screen, that it will have just a few inputs. It will have a few buttons, one button to compute, one button to mesh, and one button to plot, and so and so. So these are basically an example of a particular typical app, but you can remove and add the features whatever you like in these apps. Like if you want to have different types of meshes or different types of plots, instead of just single plot, you can add or remove any n number of buttons which you like, or you can add or remove the inputs also. So it can be as complex as you like, or it can be as simple as you want to reduce it to just to showcase it to your students or your colleagues or something else. And it is very helpful from the academic point of view, because many a times students don't have access to labs or to conduct experiments. So in those cases, when you have to visualize something, let's say you have to calculate the resonant frequency of a resonator or something like that. So it is not possible to access the labs or experimental setups every time. So if a student is having an inbuilt app installed in his system, so he can just vary the lengths and the widths of a particular resonator, and he can visualize that how the resonant frequencies of the structures are changing just on a few clicks on a simple app. So this is the strongest point of COMSOL, which it offers, that you can reduce any model, any application library model, or if you are building your own model also, you can reduce it into an app. So basically, there are two methods for which you can install COMSOL. One is COMSOL compiler and one is a COMSOL server. So if you want to distribute the simulation apps like a .exe file, you will need a COMSOL compiler. So that will convert your full-fledged app into a .exe file, and that can be distributed to any number of your students or colleagues, and it will not require COMSOL license to run. So it will be a standalone file, and you can run it on any system, either it is Mac based or Windows OS based. Similarly, if you want to put that app on a server so that multiple students can access it on the same time, that can be done via COMSOL server. So this is a different product. If it is installed on your server, so you can access that app from your normal browser also, like Mozilla Firefox or Chrome. You can access that app via browser and you can run it and simulate it in that particular browser also. So there are two different tools that are available for building apps. One is very intuitive, called as a form editor, which is shown on the topmost section. It is shown on the above figure. This is called as a form editor, which we are going to work on today in the hands-on section. So basically, it is for user interface design. So you don't have to code anything or you don't have to write any code for this. There are inbuilt utility and inbuilt buttons available, which you just have to drag and drop, and you will get your app ready within a few seconds. But if you want to go one level higher, so there is also functionality of something called as a method editor, which is shown in the below figure. So if you are familiar with Java, you can write your own Java codes here. It's just like coding in any language. So you can write your codes and you can run these codes in the apps, or you can call these codes in the model builder also. So if you want to develop a new functionality which is not inbuilt, you can write your own code and you can use it in apps or in the model builder also. So we have several examples of apps in our application library. You can access it. If you will go to the application library, and you can open the inbuilt models available here. So you can see that there are n number of applications which are available in the COMSOL multi-physics topmost section. So these are all apps, inbuilt apps, which are provided within COMSOL. Apart from that, if you go to the different interfaces, in these interfaces also, in physics-based interfaces also, there are some apps are available. You have to go through each one of them in order to check that which app is available and not. But if you want to directly go to an app, you can directly go to this COMSOL multi-physics section and you can access these inbuilt applications. Moving on. So as I said, that what is the need for creating apps? The first and the foremost need is to reduce your full-fledged model into a reduced order model or something very, very intuitive, which anyone can use, which is more powerful, which takes less time to run, which has less parameters. And another advantage is if you are not satisfied with the inbuilt functionality, you always have an option to write your own codes in C and Java. So we are going to move on to the demo now, to the hands-on section. I hope you all have COMSOL windows open. So it will be needed. This session is purely focused on hands-on. So This is the first thing which we are going to try. So I would request you all to follow the steps which are mentioned here. Just open your COMSOL window and you follow these steps which are mentioned here. Just go to the application library, go to the COMSOL multiphysics branch and open this bus bar model. So let's say I have this blank window of COMSOL open. So I will go to the application library. And go to this COMSOL multiphysics node. When you will open it, you will find it like this. So go to this node, go to the multiphysics branch, this one, and open this bus bar model. Under multiphysics node, or you can directly search for bus bar here also, like this. So this at the top most left section under the file node, you will find the app builder. So I would request you to open this app builder. Once you have opened it, please let me know once you have got this screen, so then we will move forward.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Sir, क्या करेंगे?
You have to open this interface. Have you opened from the application builder? Okay. So now we will build an app from the scratch. Go to this form node and a global form. Okay. So then you will find this type of a window that is showing on your screen. So there are multiple types of templates, inbuilt templates available to build your own apps. So one is a blank form, one is a basic form. That means it will consist of this type of a template. One is a ribbon section graphics template. So we will go to the initially the basic one. So just go to this, select this basic template and go to contents. I hope all of you are following me. If there are any queries, you can ask.
Post meeting की वजह से ये meeting आया था.
Yeah, after application builders. Yeah, sure. Once you have opened this window, go to new form, global form. And from here, you have to select what type of a template you want to take. So these are inbuilt templates that are available in COMSOL. So just select a basic template, second one, and go to contents. This is just selecting like physics or a study in the model builder. So are you able to do it? Okay. So now COMSOL will ask you what type of inputs would you like to have in your app. As you can see that it is written here, inputs, outputs. So let's say I want length as an input, width as an input, and thickness as an input. Okay. And here you can see the preview of how it will look in the app. So just select any parameter which you like, length, width, or volt radius or voltage, whatever input you would like to have, you can select it. Okay. If I want to remove something, I can remove it out of this.
Mr. Verma, sir, you please unmute yourself, mute yourself.
Okay, once the inputs and outputs are here, you can go to what do you want in the graphics. That means what do you want to see in the result. Either it is electric potential, electric field, or temperature. So I will select temperature and click on set.
Amir, sir, you also requested to mute.
So have you added these two things, the parameters and the graphics? Screen is not visible. Sujit, is my screen not visible?
No, no, you are visible. I'm just writing to him. I think there is a problem at his end only. I am able to see everything what you are saying, showing.
Okay, so
Yeah, now it's saying visible.
okay, so have you added these two parameters in inputs and the graphics window? Okay, great. And now there is an option of also to add buttons. What button would you like to have in your app? So I would like to see the geometry, of course. So I will like to add plot geometry button in my app. Mesh as of now I don't want, but if you want to add mesh, if you want to see mesh also, then you can add it, but I don't need, so I'm not adding it as of now. So compute button, of course, I want to compute because I will vary the length and thickness. So I want to see that how results are changing. So I want to add a compute button. Okay. And I would like to add a plot temperature button also, since I'm going to change these parameters after n number of times. So I would like to see that after changing and after computing the new parameters, what is the temperature variation I'm getting. So I would like to add these three parameters, these three buttons, and I will change these parameters and see that how my app is working. So once we have added the buttons, please let me know so we can test the app which we have developed. Okay, now we can click on done. So you can see these are all displaying in my app builder now. So I will just drag and move these buttons since it is not looking very user friendly. So compute I will keep in the last, and these two buttons I would like to keep here. No, geometry I will keep here, and temperature and compute. So yeah, like in this way I would like to see my app. So yeah, once you adjust these buttons, you just have to click on this test application. So I will test the app. This is just like a normal compiler. So this is the result which I'm getting. That is because the model is pre-solved. So I will just resize it. I will slightly increase the graphics window so that the results are visible clearly. So you can just drag it like in any other software, how you will move the picture or a graph. Yeah. Now what I will do, I will try to test it at various lengths. So I will increase the length from 9 centimeter to, let's say, 7 centimeters. And you can see I have updated my geometry and it is reduced. So now I will compute that what is the heat transfer, what is the heat temperature graph I am getting at this particular length. So I will click on compute.
Damodar Reddy sir, please mute yourself. Damodar sir, please mute yourself.
So now you can see that I have computed it, and I now want to see the temperature plot. So this is the temperature that I am getting at this particular length. So if I want to vary it, I will just change it to 12 centimeters. So it will increase, and I will compute again to see that how much variation I am getting. So you can try it out at your ends also. If you have added these buttons, you can vary the length, thickness, and applied voltages to see the temperature variation. Now you can see that it has changed considerably. Okay. If you are able to do it, you can try it out at your end. Just try to vary these parameters or drag and drop, increase or resize these graphics. Try it out at your end. If you are having any difficulty, please let me know.
Damodar sir, please mute yourself.
Yeah, please continue, Utkarsh.
Yeah. So have you tried it at your ends? Just try to vary these parameters, these buttons, resize the graphics window. Let me know if you are facing any issue. So this is the most basic form of app which we can build using COMSOL. So you can see that it was just a matter of few seconds that I was able to build this app just on a few clicks. So there is much more that we can do, but please let me know that if you are able to do it properly, so we can move forward. Okay. So once this is built, I will just quickly improve it a little so that it looks nice. Okay. So so now once we have seen that how we can directly start building the app using the templates, we are now going to look at this section, that what else we can do using form builder. So here you can see that there is a thing called as a button. Okay. So if you have left out something, let's say I didn't add mesh button here. So I want to add a mesh button now or something else. So what I can do is I can directly use this button node, and a button will be added here, and you can see in the settings screen this button is added. Now it is going to ask me that which command I am choosing to run on this. So let's say I want to add mesh on this button. So I want this button to be a mesh node. So I will just go to the mesh node, and you will see that three options are available here: edit, run, and plot. So first of all, I will run it. Okay, just click on it, and just let me do it once again. So go to component and mesh and run it. Click on run. And next, if I want to see also what type of a mesh that I am building, then you can click on this plot also. So it will run it and it will plot it. But here there is a catch that on what graphics does you want to plot, because you want your plot to be visualized. You want it to be a graphics window, this graphics window, that is graphics 1. It is named here as graphics 1. So I want it to be on this particular window. So what I will do is I will click on this, and you can see that this edit argument node is enabled. I will click on it and it will ask me what graphics I want to select. So I will select graphic 1 and okay. So form 1 graphics 1, this is the path for this particular graphics window. So form 1, as you can see, it is here, form 1 slash graphics 1. Graphics 1 is here. So either you can manually write it or you can go it from the edit argument. I basically prefer this edit argument node because it maintains the consistency and also ensures the accuracy that you are selecting the correct graphics. Okay, so once you have followed it, once you have done it, please let me know so that we can move forward. So if you are having any difficulty or some issue, you can ask.
I think Utkarsh, Sandeep Raj sir has mentioned that he has done his. I think he has said yes. Okay, now here Gulam is saying, could you do one more time?
Sujit, I'm looking at the chat.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, sure. So I will repeat it once again. So you can add button from this tab. So that part is clear, right? You have added this button. Okay. So once you have added this button, just double click on it. This settings window will open. So now you have to choose what command do you want to run on this button. So COMSOL will give you various options. Either you want to plot geometry, or you want to run some physics on this node, or you want to see some study, or you want to see some result on this node. So I want to see the mesh. I want to build the mesh on this button. So I will select mesh. So it will be under this model root. Expand this model root and go to mesh and click on run. And I also want to plot it, so I will choose plot also. So once you have selected these two things, the next thing is to edit the arguments. Okay. In these arguments, just select the graphics which you want to select. Okay. Is it clear now, or should I do it once more? Okay, good. So now we can test our application once again. So I have added this button. So this should plot the mesh as per our intention. So yeah, we have got the mesh here now, as you can see. So are you able to get it in your window? This type of plot, are you able to get? Okay, great. So Now, since this thing is not very intuitive, so what I will do, I will just rename it. So as you can see that you can rename it. I will write it as plot mesh. And it's always good to have an icon also. So I can give it an icon also. So you can see that there is an icon in the drop down, mesh32.png or mesh.png. So you can select either of them, and the size is small, so I will make it large, so it will look nice and fancy. So if you want to make it outlined, you can make it outlined also, or raised if you want to make it raised. So this button will be raised slightly, other apart from them. So these are just to make it look fancy. So are you able to do this, editing the names and icons? Okay, great. So just to be safe, let's test it again. So plot, yeah, it's working fine. Plot. Okay. So it's good to test your app after each and every iteration, just to be safe, because it's very difficult to trace back the changes once you have made multiple changes. It's very difficult to sometimes very difficult to debug your app. So this is a very simple app, so we are not having any issues. But as you will start building your own apps and adding complicated things, it will be difficult to debug your app. So it's always better to keep it testing time and again and keep saving the new changes. Okay, so moving on. Another thing which we are going to try here is the data validation. So what you can do here is, suppose that if you want to put on a limit, let's say the length of this bus bar cannot be, let's say, 1000 centimeters, or thickness cannot be 5000 mm or things like that, which are unrealistic. So if you want to apply a limit on these dimensions or these parameters, that can be done using data validation in COMSOL. So as you can see, when you will double click on this particular node, so this is a type of an input field. So this input field is available here also. Okay, so we have checked button. Now we will check the input field. We will have a look at what input field does. So it is used to take inputs in COMSOL, like in C or C++, you have to define input, outputs, files, and headers and things like that. So input field is used to feed inputs in COMSOL. So here, when you will scroll down on it, you can see that there is a filter of lower bound and upper bound. So let's say I don't want it to go below 4 centimeters, and upper bound should be 15 centimeters, not more than that. Okay, so when any user will input something that is below this or above my upper bound, the message, there will be a pop-up message of invalid input, or you can customize your message also. Like, apart from this, I want to have something like, I want to add certain things in this. So let's say something like this. Okay, I want L should be greater than 4 and less than 15. So okay, so this, I want this to be my input message, so that the user should be made aware that the input length should be between 4 to 15. Okay, so I will just quickly check it once and see if it is working or not. So at present the length is 9, so I will try to put it as 16. Okay, so yes, I'm getting a pop-up error, invalid input. Okay, if I will go below 4, let's say 2, so again I'm getting this pop-up error. So are you able to follow it? Any issues in this? Okay, great. So this can be used in any type of a parameter which you are feeding in as an input. Okay. So next thing which we can try out as data display. So data display is something which extracts the data from the model builder and it shows it in your particular app. So just double click on the data display. It will be added here and I will just drag it and I will keep it under the graphics window. So what data I want to display here is I want to display the maximum values of the temperature. What overall temperature, the maximum value of temperature which I am getting here is what I want to display here because it is in the model builder also. If you will open the model builder under the home node, so you can see under derived values, there is a volume maximum. So it will display amongst all the domains, what is the maximum temperature that I am having, okay? So I want this maximum temperature to be displayed in my app. So I want to see that at what length, at what thickness, whatever I am testing, at whatever parameter, I want to see that what is the maximum temperature I am getting in my bus bar. So I have added this data display and I will quickly just give it a text label so that the user can understand what this actually is. Okay, so this is just one way in which we can do it. There is another way in which we can do it, which we will show you using editor tools. So first let's test it this way. Max temp, I will just write it as max temp. And I will drag this near it. And on this, when I will double click, I will attach this to my derived values. Okay. So whatever, whenever I will test it, the maximum temperature will be displayed here on this particular node. So there is another way to do this, that is with editor tools that I will also show you. That is a quicker way. So if you will go to the home node and go to the editor tools. Double click on it. So editor tools gives you access to the model builder itself. So you can see the whole model builder is in front of you. So now if I will just right click on this maximum volume under the results and click on output. So you can see I am directly getting this temperature and this data display. So either way you can do it. Either you can do it via manually by adding manually the data display from the ribbon section, or you can follow this editor tools approach. So any questions in this? Okay, great. So if you want to test it, you can test it also. Let's increase the voltage to 30 millivolts and compute it. You can see earlier it was 340 Kelvin. Now it is 377 Kelvin. And you can see the point also at which it is having 377 Kelvin at this point, it is having maximum temperature. So you can try it out at your end also. If you want to test it, just let me know if it is working. So is it working in your app? Yes, the points shown in the model are maximum minimum temperatures. Yes. Okay. So moving on. To the next part, and that is very, very useful. That is called as a form collection. So at present, you can see that we are having only one form. So we can add multiple forms. Let's say if you are right now you are having what everything in just one window, right? You are having geometry also in the same window, mesh also in the same window, temperature also in the same window. If you want to have it in different windows or tabs, let's say, then you can use a form collection in that case. So let's say what we can do is we can add new form here, a blank form. This time we will add, okay, and add a different graphics window here, okay. And this I will link it to some other result. Let's say current density, okay. So this is linked to current density. And I will make another form, another blank form, and this time I will link it to electric potential, let's say, okay. So I have three different forms, right? Now what I will do is I will add a form collection in this particular window. So what I can do is, so this is temperature, right? Okay. More objects and a form collection. So a form collection is added here, and I will remove this particular graphics. Okay. And I will add these two forms here. You can see that these two forms are tabbed. So I will add one more form also, just to add the heat transfer tab also. So I will have all the three results and I will name them. So this one is current density. So this form number 2 is current density. And this form is electric potential. This is EC. I will also name it here as EC. And this is HT. Okay, so I will name it as HT. The second form was current density. Current, okay. So I have three different forms, and in the form 1, I will have all the collections of these forms. So I will add HT also here. So earlier it was here, I will add it from the form collection. So these are the forms that are available, and I will select it and click on add to form collections. So as you can see that these are all three tabbed here now, correct? And I want my geometry to be displayed on this form. So I will have to edit the argument just to check if it is correct or not. So yes, I will make it the display on the first graphics, that is current/graphics1. So you can see the argument is changed now because I have changed the names of the forms. So the arguments also need to be changed. So this will look like this now. Instead of just one single window, I am having three different tabs. So are you able to follow it? Form collections, these are very, very important and very useful. These are very helpful when you are building a complex app. So are you having any queries on this? So any queries, any questions on this? Okay, so we are going to test it now. Test the application. So geometry is here, electric current is here, here. So you can see all the three results are available. Okay. You can test it on your end. Just increase the size of them.
हा तेच 30%. हा होय. हा Professor Sanjay Pawar sir, will you please mute yourself? Sanjay Pawar sir.
Okay, and you will have to change the arguments of these buttons also, since the forms are renamed now. So just change the arguments of these forms or it will give an error. So edit argument and select whatever graphics would you like to run it on. So yeah, so all the arguments need to be changed. Okay. So heat transfer, anyway, we are getting the plots on the HT1. So I will just link it here. So I guess everything is changed now. Yep. So this is what is happening basically here is in the PPT, it will be shown by better way. So in the main window, you are having a form, which is a form, it is a collection of an objects. And in this form number 3, you are having a collection of form 1 and 2. In our case, we are having 3 forms. So we are having form 1, 2, 3 in the main form. So that is what is happening here. Okay. So moving on. So now, if we want to control the mesh size, let's say, so we can do it via something called as an combo box. So this is a task for you now. So just look at the slides and just try to do what is mentioned on these slides. Try to replicate on your own model. Just try it out, whatever is written on these slides. So you have to go to the model builder, change the element size to predefined, click model data access in the ribbon, select the checkbox. So it is shown here how you can do it, model data access, just next to the ribbon tab, and switch back to the application builder and add it. So this is a task for you. So I will just quickly show you in case you are wondering where all these things are. So you have to go to home, click on data access, enable it, go to model builder, and follow the steps that are written here. You have to change it to predefined. Element size needs to be predefined. So change it to the predefined and enable this selection. Just try this once, whatever it is written on this node, just try it out and let me know if it works. So all the things that are required to do this have been demonstrated to you already. Editor tools, model access, mesh button, everything has been demonstrated to you. You just have to apply it now. Let me know if you are having any issue. Sometimes for finer mesh when simulating an error is coming similarity. So that is a physics based error, Mr. Garam. We are not discussing physics here. Just try this out. You need to have this particular type of node in your app. We are discussing apps here. So just try to have this in the app builder. If you are having any difficulty, let me know. Please follow the steps that are written on the slide. So any issues, any queries? You should be having this type of a button by now in your app. Are you able to do it or not? So are you able to have it done or not? Yes, no. What is it? Want this thing in the app?
ಅಬ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ನೀವು ಪ್ರಪೋಸಲ್ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಸರ್ ಸಾಕು ಸರ್ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಆನೆಕ್ಸ್ ಜೋಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮುಂದೆ ಈಗ ಒಂದೆರಡು ನಿಮಿಷ ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಇರ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಅಬ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿ
So I guess all of you are able to do it. There are no queries. So now we will have a look at how to make the screen resizable, since this, whenever we open it, it's opening in a very small window. So by the way, this type of a thing was what I wanted. You need to change the size from normal to extra fine and click on plot. It should be extra fine. From coarse, then it should be very coarse. So this type of thing was that I wanted, and this can be done using this combo box and editor tools. Just go to editor tools and click this as an input. And to get this in the editor tools, you have to click on data access, go to model builder and check this checkbox as written in the instructions. So you will have this, just right click on it and click on input. So you will get this predefined mesh size as input here. So I will slightly edit it. Okay. Once you have it, just test the application. Extra fine mesh and extra coarse mesh. Okay, both are visible. Now we want this graphics window to be resized according to the screen. So this thing is not looking very cool. So I will just quickly show you how to make a graphics window resizable. So when you are having this type of a graphics window, go to form and go to grid mode. Click on grid. You are in a sketch mode, go to the grid node. Okay. Right click on the row and right click on grow column. Similarly for the row, right click on it and grow row. And next thing which we have to do is fit align, fill horizontally and align, fill vertically. So what this will do is it will fill it on the full screen. So since we have done it in the graphics window, we have to do same in the form also. Since it is not available in the forms. So I guess on the current node we have done it. So yeah, now it is resizing. Okay. And I will switch to grid mode here also. And similarly for this one, I will align and fill horizontally and fill vertically. Plus, I will grow this row. Now you can see that it is filled on the full screen. Okay. So in this way, you can align it very well. So since I have applied it on the row only, so that's why it is filling on the row only. If I want to do it on the column, I can do it on columns also. So it will be always filled now vertically only. Okay. So in this way, now whenever you will open the app, it will always fill the screen. It looks sophisticated as well as it looks good also in this way. All right. So moving on. Now I want to add a ribbon section to my app. So right now, as you can see that there is no ribbon section. If I have computed anything, I want to save it. How will I save this model? If I have parameterized it and I have optimized it, how can I save it? So to save the app, I can do one thing is that I can add a ribbon here. So as you can see, there is a ribbon section available. I will add a ribbon tab. Okay. And I will add a ribbon section and a ribbon item. Okay. So in this ribbon item, I want to add a save as application. Okay. So I want to add this save as item and add icon to it. If it is not available, I can select it. Okay, the library is not here anyway. I will choose another icon of this. Okay. So you can see the ribbon is added, and I have not actually named it, so I will have to name it. I will name it as save as and test it. So now I can save the application which I have built. I can save it. Okay, it will ask where do I want to save it, just like saving any other model. Okay, so you can change the ribbon section name also. So it is at present ribbon section 1. I will name it as home. Okay, so are you able to follow this step? Ribbon section, any issues here? Any issues, any queries? The same thing you can do on file menu also. So just go to this file menu node and follow these steps which are written here. Just try them out, and let me know if you are able to do them in the file node. Okay, so you can add it in file menu, add it as an item, and this item need to be named as save as again, and GUI command needs to be linked to be save as. Okay, so now it will be available in the file tab as well. So I will test it quickly. So file save as is available. Okay, you can save it. So in both ways you can try it out. You can either use it as a ribbon tab or in the file menu itself. Okay. Okay, so next thing which we are going to do is that is dialog boxes. So if you want a dialog box needs to be here to get us some pop-up message. So let's say I will add a blank form and I will quickly add a text label here that let's say this is a test for FDP and you want this um, form to be you want this form to be displayed as a pop-up. So if the user wants any information that what this app is about, he will click on information button and he will get it. What kind of an app is this or what for what purpose? If you want customized dialog box to pop up. So you can add this using once you have made a new form, that is this. I will name it as test. And I will add a button. Let's say this, I will come on sketch mode. It's not looking very nice here. I will quickly move them. Okay. And on this button, I will link it to the form which I have built. Test, and you can click it as show as dialog box. So this will run and this will show as dialog box, and I will change the text of this button as info, and icon will be information. Okay. So now let's test it and let's see what this is doing. So if you want to give it to any student or any user, and if you want them to know it, what intuitively this app is doing, so they will just click on the info and then this thing will pop up that this is a test app for FDP. So this kind of a thing can be done very easily on COMSOL. And if you want to make it more fancy, then you can add a method to it also. Like now we are going to switch on a little bit of coding section. So I want a wave file to be played on it. So I will create a new method. Method is basically a script, okay, in which you write some code and you want to get it linked to your particular operation. So I will link it with that button so that an error message is displayed with the particular sound. Let's say the simulation is completed and you want to have a sound as an output that the simulation is complete, an alert. So for that, you can use this type of particular alert sound. So
सर वो दूसरा एप्लीकेशन बिल्डर बोल रहा है सर एडिट कर रहा हूँ सर
So you go to language elements. So when you will click on language elements, the whole library will open. And if you want to see that what command is used to play the sounds, so you can search it here. So these are all Java language elements. You can see that you can, for array, what commands are used, block statements, if else, try catch, conversions for user interface. All these syntax which are used in Java are shown here. And if I want to play a sound, so some sounds are inbuilt also in the library. So if you can go to the library and in the sounds node, you can see that success.wave. This file is already available in COMSOL library. So I will just use it. And I also want an alert to be there that my simulation is completed. So I will add an alert simulation. Okay. So I want this sound to be played, and I want an alert that simulation is completed whenever my simulation is complete. So, and this I will add it with my compute button. So whenever I will click on compute and whenever my simulation is completed, I want to listen to a sound that that the simulation is completed. So in this compute button, at present, two commands are running. One is compute study and one is plot temperature. So now I will add the method also to it. So that method will also run. And this method, only two commands are given. One is it will play a sound and it will give a pop-up that the simulation is completed. So this is just a very brief overview of method editor of what you can do here. So let's test it. So as according to our thinking, when we press the compute button, when the simulation is completed, and alert should come and a sound should be played. So let's see what happens. So success, this file is not here. So
हाँ
it's,
सर हमारे कॉलेज के 3 एचओडी को बोल दिया शेयर करता हूँ आ जाएगी ना कितने वाले सर 60 टोटल चाहिए
Dada
30 पकड़ लिया
will you please mute
रख लिया
yourself? Sikandar, Dada Sikandar. Your mic is on. Please mute yourself.
ठीक है 1 घंटे में बोलो खाली ज्वाइन करके छोड़ देंगे ठीक है आंसर सब हो जाए खाली ज्वाइन कर छोड़ देंगे अटेंडेंस दिखाना
so you can see that the simulation is complete. Simulation is complete. Is also playing. So you can try this writing method at your end, and you with the
हाँ कर रहा हूँ लेकिन वो दूसरा बोल रहा है
Dada Sikandar, will you please mute yourself? Others are disturbing. Utkarsh sir, you are admin, that's why you can mute everybody. It is possible to you. So please mute.
yes, I have muted everybody. Thanks. So will you please try this at your end? Play sound and alert, whatever alert message you like to have, and just write the alert message and link this method to your compute node like this. From methods you will get this, and just click on run to add it. Just try it out, test it, and please let me know if it is working in your app. Yeah, please try this out, this thing, and let me know if you are facing any difficulties in linking this method to the button. Let me know if you are having any issues, or we are almost on the completion of the today's session. Yeah, so we are almost, we have almost completed. So now I will show you how to deploy apps. Uh, so so there are two methods to deploy apps. As I said, that one is COMSOL compiler, which lets you make your .exe file, and one is COMSOL server if you want to put it on your server so that anyone can access it through a web browser. So as you can see that here, this app is displayed on Google Chrome, a web browser. So you can, like this, you can run it on a web browser also sitting at your homes. If you are not having access to even a computer, you can directly open it through your mobile phones and you can access the apps using COMSOL server. So this is a follow or a layout structure of how to deploy apps. One, there will be a one person that will create a models, or you will take an inbuilt model from COMSOL application library. Either you will build, either you will take a built-in application, or you will build your own application using App Builder, and you will deploy it using COMSOL compiler. And that compiler is a .exe file, standalone file that will work on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. So there is no need to install COMSOL multiphysics on the systems. So it will be a standalone file as it is shown here. You can see that billet induction.exe, car seat.exe, mixer, tuning fork. So these are all standalone files. You don't need to have COMSOL multiphysics license for running these apps. Okay. Similarly, for server, you need to install COMSOL server where you want, either your own server or on a cloud service. So we are available on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, all three of them. And you can have the administrative tools like controlling accounts, user groups, etc., like in any server-based applications. So if you have any questions, you can ask now, or we can end the session. So Sujit, I think we are done here.
Yes, sir. If any question is there, you are free to ask participants, those who are doing simultaneously. You can text your question or query in chat box. Okay, sir. I do have a little bit one question that the things which we are doing for the thermal domain. Is it possible to have it for the vibration domain?
Yes, of course. The thing which I have shown is a general purpose thing. That means it can be applicable on anything. If you are doing a thermal, structural or acoustics or vibration, you can build any app out of any model. If you are having an aviation or vibration model, you can build a similar app on that. It is not physics dependent.
Yeah, okay. Because basically I'm dealing with the vibration and acoustic subject. So I'm more interested in that. So definitely I'll try, sir, and will write to COMSOL. Thank you. Okay. I think everybody is satisfied with the session which we do have right now. So here I would like to in between SY BTech B ENTC. Who is there? Will you please mute yourself? Okay. So now I would like to say thanks to Utkarsh sir. Dr. Utkarsh sir has explained us in very good manner that how we can do an app and how we can demonstrate the phenomena which we are teaching every day to the students. Sir, thank you for this nice session. And with the permission of chair, I declare that this session is over.
Thank you. Thanks for calling us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Yeah, Sujit, thank you very much. Your help is very much important, and thank you for your help.
Thank you, sir.
For remaining all participants, you will receive the today's quiz and the feedback link on your group, WhatsApp group. So please do reply for that. Thank you one and all.
Hello. Saranki sir.
Yes, please.
Okay. Can I close the session?
Yeah, you can. Thank you.
Okay.